Well, thanks for staying with us. You're watching WION World is One. My name is Mohammed Saleh. This is, of course, our continuous coverage of this mishap that has taken place earlier this afternoon, where a chopper in which CDS, the Chief of Defence Staff of India, General Bipin Rawat, was travelling earlier this afternoon, has crashed near Coonoor. This is an unfortunate and a very tragic incident that has, of course, taken place. And according to reports, these are still reports. These have not been confirmed officially yet. It is being said that at least about 13 of the 14 of those people who were travelling in the chopper, this is according to the VAR agency ANI, they are no more. Now remember, the chopper crashed roughly 10 kilometers away from any navigable road. It is being said that the journey of General Bipin Rawat was about 25 minutes. In another 7 more minutes, he would have landed at his location, but that did not happen, unfortunately, and his chopper has gone down. The road leading up to the site of the crash is completely difficult to access. It is in a forest area. The chopper came crashing down in a gorge. It is not very clear what are the circumstances leading up to the crash of the chopper, but these are the visuals of what remains of the chopper once it came crashing down near a tea estate near Coonoor. And we're given to understand that the chopper crashed roughly at about 12:20 in the afternoon earlier today. 14 people, including General Bipin Rawat, were on board the chopper. An investigation, of course, will ascertain as to what were the circumstances leading up to the crash of this chopper. General Bipin Rawat was on his way to the Defence Staff College in Wellington, where he was expected to deliver a lecture. And this, of course, is the latest bit of information that has come in, where according to reports, remember, it still needs official confirmation. All of this is according to reports. 13 of the 14 people in the military chopper have in fact been confirmed dead. The identities of these bodies are yet to be confirmed via a DNA analysis that is expected to be done in some time. So this is a tragic incident that has in fact unfolded, a shocking incident, something that no one expected, because we are talking of an individual who was at the apex of India's defence establishment, the Chief of the Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, and it is his chopper in which he was travelling earlier today that in fact has crashed. And to give us more insights and also to share his opinions on this, we're joined by retired Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur, who's joining us on this broadcast on WION. So thank you very much indeed for joining us on WION. And let me begin by asking you this. This, of course, is a very tragic incident. No one would have expected that an incident of this nature would have happened. Considering that this was a chopper in which General Bipin Rawat was travelling, we would have expected that this would be a chopper that would be absolutely top-notch. It would be maintained very well. It would be serviced by the best of the pilots. What do you think may have happened today?
All that you said is correct. When any machine gets aboard, whether it is the CDS on board or anybody else on board, it is in a flying fit condition. Now, what happens is that when there is a VIP trip, certain additional checks are done. The crew is specially selected for carrying out the mission, which is qualified, knows the area well, knows the helipad well. So your viewers can be rest assured that the machine, when it got airborne, was absolutely in flying fit condition, and the crew were capable of carrying out that mission. That is how it happens for any mission, especially for the CDS, who is the VIP. Now, the Mi-17 V5 is the workhorse of the Indian Air Force, the workhorse. It is one of the latest machines that we have got. It is actually part of the fleet of the Air Headquarters Communications Squadron that also flies the President, the Prime Minister, the Vice President, and all the other dignitaries. So the V5 by itself is pilots will swear by it because it is very rugged and it has got a good safety record.
Do you think the weather could have possibly had a role to have played in this? Because the terrain over which the chopper was flying, we were given to understand, was a very rugged one. It was at an elevation, and we also given to understand that the plane has actually, the chopper has fallen into a gorge in a forest area in the Nilgiri Hills. Do you think the terrain and perhaps the weather may have had to play a role in this?
There can be any reason. That's why one should not speculate now. Weather has been a cause in many accidents. Whether it was in this particular one, we'll have to wait. That's number one. Was it a technical defect? After all, it's a flying machine. Was it human error? Was it something else? It's too early. I mean, it's just about 5 hours or so since the accident has happened. And presently, all the efforts are in trying to retrieve the dead and the deceased and the injured. The complete focus right now would be on that. And the accident investigation team or the court of inquiry, I'm sure, has already been constituted. In the Air Force, what happens is that whenever a fatal accident happens, it's always headed by either an Air Commodore, and if an Air Commodore, that is a one-star officer, if he is a group captain, that is a colonel rank officer, group captain. In this particular case, with the CDS on board, things are different. So you hire all members would be experts. There would be a flying member, a technical member. There would be a history of the medical history of the aircrew. So it's an all-encompassing thing. There would be representative from the technical branch. There could be somebody in this particular case. Had it been a HAL aircraft, there's normally an attachment from the HAL. But this, of course, is a Russian aircraft. So we'll have to wait and see. The court of inquiry has its task cut out to find out the reason.
Absolutely, indeed. Do continue to stay on with us because we need to talk to you a little bit more on this. But meanwhile, my colleague Siddhant Sibal is also standing by with more information on this. Siddhant, bring us up to speed with what is happening in terms of more information being given out officially by the government.
Well, yes, it has been a long day in terms of the tragedy that has been unfolding in south of India, the crash of the chopper carrying India's CDS and 13 other people on board. Now, what is given to understand is that the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is going to make an official statement in the Indian Parliament that is in session. The statement is expected to be made tomorrow when, of course, the picture will be much clearer because even as we speak, the information is just trickling in. We know that as of now, the Indian Air Force has just put out 2 tweets and giving information regarding the details which have happened. These tweet statements basically describes the number of people who were on board and the crash has happened with CDS on board. But other than that, there is almost no information. But this is a development that has, in a sense, shocked the nation. This is a development in which people are keen to know more information, especially when it comes to status of the CDS Bipin Rawat, who of course is the first CDS when the office of the CDS was created. He was handpicked by the Indian Prime Minister to become the CDS. Also, when it comes to he being a well-respected person, not only in the forces but also outside of the forces. When it comes to the entire development which has happened,
right.
We are getting more information when it comes to Tamil Nadu, the southern Indian state from where the incident happened, where the accident in fact happened.
Absolutely, indeed, Siddhant. Do continue to stay on with us. So this is the latest information that we've got. That 13 of the 14 people who are on board the chopper, we're given to understand, are reportedly dead. This still awaits official confirmation. One person is said to be in a critical condition, and we still have a retired Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur with us. So if I can come to you on this. So it's a very difficult terrain where the chopper has fallen. It's almost 10 kilometers away from any navigable road. That is what is being reported. And it's also very close to a tea estate. So it's taken the rescue officials a lot of time and also a lot of effort in reaching the area, taking their equipment there and carrying out the rescue efforts. how soon do you think a DNA analysis will be done, and how soon will we know about the status of those who have in fact who were present in this chopper when it crashed?
From the videos that are being shown, yes, the terrain is harsh. I have been posted in the Defence Services Staff College, that's Wellington, where the CDS was going. The helipad is in a bowl. It's a very beautiful bowl, let's put it that way, with hills around, tea gardens around, and where the helipad is, it's actually a golf course with a cricket pitch. Nothing can be more beautiful, but so tragic an accident has happened so close to it. Now, there are hills around, but we are trained to fly in through the hills, and Wellington is a helipad, or Kunur is a helipad, which the unit which is based at Sulu in Coimbatore down south, where the CDS would have taken the helicopter from. Those pilots are adept at going to that place. Secondly, if there are no roads, as your correspondent just said, to that crash site, the people have already reached there, and I can assure you that the state government as well as the military out there would make a track, or the bodies will come out first. There is no doubt about it, and or the injured people. Then the Court of Inquiry team will also go there, and they will look for the flight data recorder, or the black box as it is called, the cockpit voice recorder. Hopefully they have survived the crash, because the video shows the helicopter was in a pretty bad shape with a fire that was going on. Hopefully the FDR would show what went wrong, so drastically wrong in that sortie. So when you're talking of the DNA analysis and all that, the doctors would do their job. That would happen. That would certainly happen. But one must remember that in the military, everywhere, we grieve for the departed. We do their last rites, but after that, life carries on. Life has to carry on. The last post that is sounded on the funeral pyre, on a funeral or a cremation or whatever of a deceased Fauji, a deceased soldier, it has the reveille at the end. Rise. This life has to carry on. So we grieve, certainly. This is absolutely tragic. The SOPs sort of unfortunately exist, or rather they do exist in such cases. The next of kin will be looked after, and the Court of Inquiry will come to its conclusion, and the Air Force and other agencies will draw lessons so that such things don't happen.
Absolutely, indeed, such things should not happen. One hopes that some lessons are definitely learned. But sir, I wanted to ask you on a specific issue of the terrain there. As you said that you've served there, and it's absolutely pristine and very beautiful in the Nilgiri Hills. Now, it is said that some of the hills there are as high as about 8,000 odd feet. It can get very foggy as you go up. Is that a factor that may have contributed, into the chopper crashing?
Too early to speculate. In the hills, the clouds are always there. There are moving clouds that come. There is fog that sometimes happens. But all these are taken into account in planning for a mission of this nature. So to say that whether that could not have been a factor, I can't say so. Was it a factor? I can't say so. Actually, nobody can say so right now. And I think it's best to avoid speculation at this point.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, this one would expect to be in a very routine journey that General Bipin Rawat would have been making. He perhaps was just about 7 kilometers away from Kunur, the place where he was heading to his destination. And it is before that, just 7 kilometers prior to Kunur, that the chopper has in fact crashed. The question that I want to ask you is, how routine are these short chopper flights for someone as high up as General Bipin Rawat in fact take?
No, the time of the CDS is important. We don't weigh, costs or times with respect, distances with respect to the time of a senior functionary, like the CDS. From Sulur to to reach Wellington, if you go by road, it takes about 3 hours. Whereas by helicopter, it's 25 minutes. So the helicopter flight from Sunur to the Air Force Station at Sunur to Wellington or Kunur, it was absolutely right. That's how it is done. And that's how it's always been done for dignitaries who go to Wellington.
Absolutely indeed. Thank you very much indeed, sir.